guys, this is Jack here with How We Roll RV. Today we're here at our campsite and we just want to show you guys how to set up camp with our campers. So this one that we have here is Victor the Viking. All of our campers are going to be very similar to set up. The only difference is this one's a little bit smaller, but like I said, everything's going to be very much similar. We have videos that talk about the different parts of our different campers, but this one right here we're just going to set up and it's going to be really about very similar to our other one. So if you'll follow me, first thing that you want to do is, you can see I have it connected to our tow vehicle. What we're going to do is, first thing, you're going to want to take your chock here. We have two chocks in here. So these are our wheel chocks. We provide these with all of our campers. You want to come here. You want to chock one wheel here, one wheel here. And this campsite is pretty level, so we don't have to worry about putting our tri-leveler out. And what the tri-leveler is it's that yellow thing that has the 3 bumps on it. What you would do is if it's connected just like this, before you chock the wheels, you would pull up on that tri-leveler to balance the camper from side to side, and then chock your wheels once you get that tri-leveler on there. But since this side's level, we just chocked our wheels as we pulled in. So now, since we pulled in and chocked our wheels, it's now time to disconnect the camper from the tow vehicle. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up right over here. And I always take this and lower it down as much as possible, so that way I don't have to run the electric the motor on the winch as much, or on the jack as much. So what you're going to do is you're going to lower it like that, and then what we want to do is I want to loosen the tension on these bars right here. See, because right now, I mean, they are tight. There's no way you can get that off. So what you want to do is you want to raise your truck so that way you can release the tension. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my jack on here. And then we'll also grab our pole back here that I put in the back of the truck. And this right here we also provide with our rentals. This is just part of the tow kit that we provide. So now we've almost got the jack down to the ground to where it's going to start lifting the camper up along with the tow vehicle. So you still want to make sure that this pin is in and everything's connected. So now we're starting to get some tension. As you can see, the truck is starting to raise up a little bit, and I always just come here and, oh wow, look at that. It's a lot looser than it was before. So that should be good right there. So I'll stop my jack. I'll come and remove my cotter pin and go ahead and pull this down so my chain drops off. Connect that back just like so. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll go ahead and remove my cotter pin, lower this, and then put this right back in here, like so. And then I just move these out of the way right here, and I'll usually just set my pole on the ground here. Next thing is, I want to remove my chains. You remove this chain right here, just like so. And then also, if you have a breakaway cable, you'll want to remove that at this time too. The next thing is, we'll go ahead and remove our lights, just like so. And then, after that, we'll want to lower this back down, because right now it's picking the tow vehicle up. So there's no way I could unlock this. So we want to lower this back down again. And I always just kind of feel it to see where our tension's at. Right there should be good. So that feels pretty good. It's kind of a lot looser now. So we're going to remove our pin here. Make sure the wheels are chocked. Double check the campsite and make sure everything's good. Now we'll go ahead and pick this up just like that. So now I have got it disconnected from the ball. We're going to go ahead and raise this up a little bit. move my light connector here until this is just clear of the ball. So it is clear of the ball now. Now what I want to do is I want to move the tow vehicle forward. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to hop in here. We're just going to move this forward a little bit. Perfect. So now that our tow vehicle is moved forward, we are disconnected from the trailer here. So now what I do is you can either leave the hitch on here, but for this video, let's just go ahead and take it off. It's more secure in the camper, so that way nobody steals it while you're out. So you'll just move these to the back, press down, and that comes loose. Same thing with this one. Press down and that one comes loose. And then I would store these underneath, but for right now let's just put them on the side over here just for demonstration purposes. But those are usually stored underneath the camper. And then this right here is the bar that releases the tension. And I always put my pin right back in here. And then I'll take my chains and I'll kind of put them right around here. And then my light connector, I always just kind of wrap it just a little bit. I just don't like things touching the ground like that. Then I take this bar here, we'll just sit it there. And then to remove the hitch, all you have to do, pull this down, the pin comes out, that comes out, and then we just replace our pin. That way we don't lose it. And that will sit right over here. And then if you have a sway bar, you can take the sway bar off and store it in the camper as well. So that is how we disconnect from the camper. Now, all we have to do is, the next step is, right now it's level from side to side. Like I was saying, I would have pulled up on the tri-levelers prior to disconnecting the camper. But right now it's level. But let's take a look at the camper. It looks like it's not level from front to back. It looks to me that the front is a little bit high. So what we want to do, we want to come to our electric jack here. We want to drop this down just a little bit. So this one's automatic. You just click the switch and it goes down. And then on some of the campers, you actually have to hold the button. But we can provide a level for you. But a lot of times I just take a look and see if it looks good, or I just kind of eyeball it, and it seems like right there looks pretty good. So you'll stop that. So now your camper is chocked, it is leveled out, and you're disconnected from your tow vehicle. You put the connections up. Next, what I would do, this is our sway bar right here. So I'm going to set this right here. Let's go ahead and pull our tool out here. This is to lower our stabilizer jacks. Once the camper has been leveled and disconnected, you can lower your stabilizer jacks. This just keeps the camper from moving around too much. So what we're going to do, we're going to come back to here. We're going to take our tool here, and this goes on the end of the stabilizer. Go ahead and lower this. A lot of times if you have a drill, it makes it easier to have a drill to lower it down. This is just the manual way. Okay, so now we have the camper stabilizer jack down. You just want to have it to where it's just enough tension to hold the camper. Then we'll come to our next one and go ahead and do our next one. Like I say, it's a process to let these down here. And there we go. Now, on some of our campers, we have these on the front as well. This one does not, so you don't have to worry about letting the ones down on the front because it doesn't have any. But those are down. So we'll go ahead and put our tool back here. I usually put everything back underneath, but since we're doing a demo, I'll just set everything here. The next thing you want to do is you want to pull out this box and then this box here. Now, these right here I did not put down because this campground that we're at does not require these to be put down, and we're on gravel. If you were going to be somewhere that had grass or it was wet, or the campground requires it, these would be placed underneath those back jacks back there. But we'll just put these off to the side for now. So let's go ahead and open our box up here and have a look at what we have. So when you rent from us, we have a sewer hose, a water hose, and with our water hose kit that we have here, we have a pressure reducer valve with it. We also have our 30 amp to 110 connection. This is for like if you're at home or something and you want to connect your camper to the house, you have that. And then you have your coax cable here, and then this is your water hose right here. So first of all, let's go ahead and do the electric. So let's walk back here and take a look at the electrical panel. So this is a standard campsite at most campgrounds. Most campgrounds just have just like a 30 amp breaker and a water connection. This campground here actually has all the connections. So you have your box here. You also have your cable TV connection, and then you also have a sewer connection as well as a water connection here. So this is your average campsite. So come and have a look at the box right here. If we open this up, your box is going to have a few different connections, okay? It's going to have the 110, so that will be this 20 amp breaker right here that goes to that. And this is for like if you're wanting to run lights outside or something like that, you can run something small off of that. This is our 30 amp connection. This is for the camper we're using. We will have a 30 amp connection. All of our campers that we have use a 30 amp connection. But if you have big campers like fifth wheels and A-class campers, the bus kind, a lot of those use 50 amps. So don't worry about the 50 amp. Let's just focus on the 30 amp for now. You want to make sure that all the breakers are turned off before you plug anything in. Next, what you're going to do, on this camper, the cable is connected. So you can see you just pull this out just to the length you need it. But on our other campers, you actually connect the end of the cable to the camper. This one you just pull out. So you see this is our 30 amp connection. You want to make sure that your breaker is turned off. You'll go ahead and plug this into the campsite. Go ahead and turn our breaker on here. Perfect. I just heard the microwave beep inside, so now we should have power. Now notice, if this breaker is not turned on, you will not have power to any of the plugs. The lights will work in the camper, the awning will work, you just won't be able to run the AC, microwave, or any of the plugs. So that's one thing you'll need to check if you don't have power. So there's that, and then I always give it just a little bit of slack here. Go ahead and close this down, just like that. And now let's go ahead and do our water connection here. So if you were at a campground that did not have a water connection, you would turn on your water pump and you just use the water that you have in the camper. And that water that you have in the camper is filled in this water reservoir right here. So that's where you'd fill that out. But since this camper has a water connection, we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect our pressure reducer valve, which I already have on this hose right here, to this here. And the pressure reducer valve just makes it to where if the pressure is real high, because there is different pressures of water at different places, you don't want to blow the lines out. This is just safety. So if you have this connected just like that, you can take this here, that end is connected. You'll want to make sure the water stays off. You'll take your other end, just kind of get the kinks out of the hoses here. We'll come to this side, remove our cap here, and then we will go ahead and tighten this down here. And this is going to be for our water that we have. So right now the camper is winterized because it's winter time, so I'm not gonna turn on the water, but once you turn the water on at the spigot, you should be able to go inside and turn on your sinks and water would flow just like normal. I think of it as like having a nozzle on the end of a water hose. When you pull it, water comes out, same thing. If you turn on a sink, the water comes up through the hose, in through the pipes, and out through the nozzle inside. So it's the exact same thing. And then when you don't have the water hose connected, you turn on the water pump and it pulls from the water tank and goes through the spigots inside. So we have our water, we have our electric connected. The other thing that we'll do, let's go ahead and do our cable here. This right here, we'll just kind of untwine this a little bit here. We'll go ahead, come right to here, and we're going to remove our cap here. I'm going to go ahead and connect our cable to our connection right here. Sometimes you have to press just a little bit to get that catch. There we go. Now we'll take our other end here, and we will come to this box here. And different places have different ways of connecting it. It's all the same connection, but there are different places. And we're just going to go ahead and connect that right to there. Like I said, it takes a second for it to catch, but once it catches, it should go right on just like that. You just want to make sure those are tight, and then you should be able to turn on your TV and program it inside, and then you'll be able to have your TV running. Now, the final thing that I do, I always do the sewer last. This is a brand new hose. You can bring gloves if you want to. It's really nice to have those. But this right here is going to be the sewer hose for your campsite. Looks just like this. You have an elbow, you have your hose, and then we also have an extension right here. So this end would connect to this end of the hose and just make it longer. But for demonstration purposes, let's just use this one. So if you'll follow me, we'll come right back to here. And what we want to do is we want to make sure our valves are closed. Okay, so when you're camping, after you connect the water hose, don't open the valves, because what you do is when you flush the toilet, all the solids are just going to hit the top of the tank, and then it's just going to pile up. It won't flush. So you leave these closed. You want to open your valve out here, and sometimes you have just a little bit of water come out, so you just want to open that carefully. Go ahead and connect our hose right here, just like so. And then this right here, some hoses have dust caps in them. I was just making sure that cap was off of that. So it looks like on this hose we're going to have our extension, so that'll be a good demo. So let's open that and move this. We'll set this here, and then we want to pull our hose as far as it comes out, just like this. Now, this right here will connect to this right here. Just like, let's see here. We gotta remove our dust cap here. There we go. Now we connect just like that. There we go. Then I will come right to here, to where our sewer connection is. Let's go ahead and remove the cap here. You see it has these here. These are made to just tighten this to that. So we're gonna go just like that. Take our other end and go ahead and pop that on there. And then we have our sewer connection. Like I said, make sure your black and gray lines are closed. And then when you drain it, anytime it starts getting full, you'll see them on the gauges inside. You'll come out and pull the black first, and then you'll close it, and then you pull the gray. And then when that's done, close that. So now everything's connected. We're good at our campsite. And then I always just put all these things back underneath, so that way you have a nice clean campsite. Now, as far as putting the awning out, let's go over here and have a look. So after you've got everything connected, the camper's level, you have all of your connections undone from your tow vehicle and stored, we can come over here, go ahead and open our door here and let our step down, like so. And then this camper here, sometimes things do shift in the camper, so just be careful when you come to open doors and things may have shifted. So right here is going to be our awning switch. Close the door just a little bit. We'll press our awning extend, just like this. And I'm going to show you on this, when you extend your awning, you want to make sure that when it goes out, it's just kind of, it'll end up coming back over itself. So I'll show you when you need to stop. That would be right there is where we need to stop whenever you see that tag up there. So right here, this is our main control panel, and that is the video that I did on this camper for the main control panel. There's a separate video for that. Make sure you turn your water heater on, so that way you can start to have hot water and air conditioning, things you may need, heat, whatever you need like that. But now all you have to do is come out here, set up camp, and have your chairs and things, kick back, make you a fire, and enjoy your time with rentalrving.com. I'm Jack. Thank you so much.